Hey guys, this is Jay Calderon with Jay Unboxing here, giving you a little bit of a, again, slightly different look here, but talking about the MMA debut of world female boxing champion Claressa Shields. Now, for those unaware, Claressa actually made her MMA debut tonight against Brittney Elkin on a PFL show that was aired on ESPN2 as well as ESPN Plus in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, to get into the fight itself, I mean, it wasn't a masterful or masterpiece performance from Shield, but she certainly did show some things that were very good and some promising things as well. So we'll get into that a little bit here. In the opening round, Elkin was actually having quite a bit of success. She managed to take down Shields, which, to no one's surprise, Shields is obviously going to have a much better time when the game is sort of standing up for her. But on the mat, the brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is Elkin, was able to really completely dominate the action for the first 5 minutes in that opening frame. The second frame was kind of more of the same. The difference was Elkin wasn't able to dominate nearly as much. And as a result of that, Shields was able to show a lot more composure. She actually showed quite a bit of composure when in a non-dominant position in both cases. She stayed very calm, very relaxed, which is something that you would expect from a seasoned professional fighter. And again, that is what she is. So having had the background that she does as a professional boxer and as an amateur standout as well, she was able to really remain calm under that sort of pressure where she's someone who expects to dominate every fight she goes into. And here she had to really, she's even said in the lead up to this fight, she knew she could lose. So she had to remain very calm and even keeled as this was taking place. And make no mistake about it, Elkin did have some very dominant, moments in that opening frame and even a little bit in that second frame. By the third frame, it was much clearer that Shields was going to have a little bit more success there. Ultimately, she was able to, after keeping herself quite composed, she was able to come out there and, she had a mentality of looking to win this fight here. It was the last round of the fight, of course, so she had to do something because she was probably down 2 frames. And it was some clean punching ultimately that sent Elkin to the mat. And then you started seeing some ground and pound from Shields, and she actually used some decent positioning of her lower body to keep basically control of the situation, not get rolled into something where she was going to potentially get submitted or things of this nature. And she ended up having some headshots in there that Elkin was simply not able to defend or fire back from, and the referee stopped the fight. Now, that's all well and good. And again, it's not the best performance that you'll ever see, and I'm sure Shields would look to do better in her second, her third, her fourth, fifth, sixth MMA fight. This is really more an issue of whether or not the sort of backlash she's already getting from her MMA debut is really fair. There's this weird thing with Claressa Shields where she has such a strong personality and she's trying to do so many things for women boxers and of course for herself as well that you get this weird pushback from a lot of people who just don't like the attitude. And I don't quite understand it because we seem to accept it from so many of our male boxers. I don't see why it's such a problem with her. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say that she's perfect or that she's doing everything correctly or that she's as big a star as she thinks she is, but she certainly is trying to put herself in that position. And rest assured, if you were to compare what she's doing to 99.9% of her male counterparts, she is definitely doing significantly more than they are to try to make herself a star. With women's boxing, unfortunately, as it is currently structured just based upon the depth of talent or lack thereof, you have to go above and beyond to try to make yourself a star. In male boxing, you're trying to build a star. You already have the steps in place. All you got to do is just let them take those steps till they get to that top and now they're a star. You have to build from the foundation up the steps that you need to then take to become a star in female boxing. And that's not always pretty. People have this criticism of Claressa that, she's just a little bit too, crude or crass, or her team's a little bit too arrogant, or she's too arrogant, or whatever the criticism may or may not be. It's inconsequential. The point is, she is an athlete who has done amazing things, who has unified multiple divisions, won gold medals, and is doing phenomenally well for herself. And she's trying to break down walls. And you don't get to decide where the bricks fly when you're breaking that wall down. So it's going to be messy sometimes, is my point. It's going to hit some people the wrong way. People aren't going to like it. It's going to make a mess. It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. It's going to be a little bit too much in your face sometimes. And so the hell what? It's what needs to happen sometimes for things to get done. And this isn't some social justice warrior, woke nonsense about how, oh, that we just need to take it easier on our females or any of this nonsense. It's just simply about what this fighter is trying to do. She is trying to build a lane for herself to excel. She's doing it the only way that really has been shown to work for female fighters. They have to be a little bit meaner, have to make it a little less, you know, nice and clean. Look at someone like Ronda Rousey. You can hate her, love her, whatever it is, but part of why she was able to be so successful is because, for her time at the time of considering the level of talent at the time she was, at the top of the sport in MMA, she, was talented. Yes, she was finishing people, of course, but she also had an attitude about her that was a little bit, again, rough sometimes to deal with. Claressa is in a similar position where you know, she's obviously the one trying to run over that mountain to make sure that, it's safe to go over there. But the first person to run over that mountain usually gets hit with the arrows. That's the way it works. And it's not nice, and it's unpleasant, but we don't have to compound how terrible that is by throwing more arrows at her. It's already tough enough, and she's already doing far more than all these other male fighters that we praise so much do to try and earn their position in the sport. Again, wasn't the best debut. She's not perfect. She has made mistakes. Everyone else has too. But at the very least, for a singular night, if you're going to pick one at all to be able to sit here and say that she's doing something that most people do not have the guts to do, tonight would be that night. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of her debut in MMA and what do you think she should do next. Should she continue to go back and forth between sports, stick to boxing, focus solely on MMA, and know that she has boxing as a fallback? What are your thoughts, suggestions? Go ahead and leave those down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you there. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff at jcalderon_JOB on Twitter. You can email me at jonboxing@gmail.com. And of course, be sure to visit jonboxing.com for schedule results, rankings, betting odds, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time.